Hello students, this is Akshay Sir from the Divine School of Economics. Welcome to this particular online lesson. In this lesson, I'm going to start with the discussion of the 2026 question paper for the Cambridge International AS Economics course for the March series. Okay, this is paper 1, which is AS level multiple choice question paper. It contains 30 questions, 30 multiple choice questions in total. And I am going to start off with a discussion from question number 1. I hope students can see the paper clearly. And question number 1, we are going to start our discussion from question number 1 in this online lecture. So let's read question number 1. What is not a reward to a factor of production? Okay, now we have talked about the factors of production in our Cambridge AS Economics course. We know that the factors of production are as follows. If I write them here, the factors of production are land, they are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship skills. And we also know their rewards. The corresponding rewards are as follows. For land, the reward is rent. Rent is paid to land. Wages and salaries are paid to labor. Interest is paid on capital, and the entrepreneur gets the profits. To produce any good or service, we need the factors of production. And the rewards to the factors of production are rent, wages, interest, and profits. Now, which of them is not a reward? Transfer payments are not a reward. Okay. Anyway, students know that transfer payments are nothing but payments made without any production of a good or service. So I can quickly come to the whiteboard and I can make all students write, a quick recap of transfer payments. Okay. Let me come to the whiteboard. So recall that transfer payments are payments received without any production of good or service. Without any production of good or service. For example, we have unemployment benefits, which are benefits provided by the government for people who are unemployed, pensions, which are payments provided for government service when someone retires, and so on. That means transfer payments are made without any good or service being produced. Whereas when we talk about factor payments are rewards to factors for providing their services. Okay, so transfer payments are not a reward to the factor of production. So if I come back to the question paper, let's look at question number 2. A worker in a furniture factory currently works 10 hours a day. In the diagram, Wx is the worker's initial production possibility curve, and changes in the factory causes the worker's production possibility curve to shift to Yz. Okay, we have talked about the concept of production possibility curve. Okay, it shows combinations of two goods that the economy can produce with its available resources and technology, provided that these resources are fully and efficiently utilized. Now, students can see in the graph that chairs per day are measured on the horizontal axis, tables per day are measured on the vertical axis. Our initial production possibility curve is Wx, which states that if all the resources are used to make chairs, then 20 chairs can be made. And if all the resources are used to make tables, then 10 tables can be made. Okay, that means I can write here that Wx is the original production possibility curve. Okay, and we are given that the worker works 10 hours a day. A typical worker works 10 hours a day. Okay, and we are given that when you are on the production possibility curve Wx, you can produce 10 tables or 20 chairs. If I find the slope of the production possibility curve Wx, what is going to be the slope? It is nothing but what you measure, change of what you measure on the y-axis over change of what you measure on the x-axis. Okay, so in this particular case, if you look at the slope, it is nothing but 10 over 20. That means to make 20 chairs, we have to sacrifice 10 tables. Okay, so that means the slope is half. And now let's quickly see what happens if the production possibility curve shifts to YZ. Changes in the factory cause the PPC to shift to YZ. That means our new production possibility curve is given to us as YZ. When you are on the production possibility curve YZ, you can either produce 24 chairs per day or you can produce 8 tables per day. So what is the question asking us? What will be the workers' hours per day and productivity as a result of changes in the furniture factory, assuming the worker is on the new PPC? That means the new PPC is, the new production possibility curve is YZ. On the new PPC, you can either produce 8 tables or 24 chairs. That means what's the slope? The new slope will be what? It is again change in y over change in x. It means one has to give up 8 tables to make 24 new chairs. That means 8 over 24 is my new slope, which is 1 over 3. That means, how do I interpret this in simpler terms? The economy needs to sacrifice 1 table for 3 chairs. So I can write the economy needs to sacrifice, 1 table for 3 chairs. Now, which of these following options is matching this rate of exchange? If you carefully look at the options, you can clearly see that, see, 1 table for 3 chairs, 1 table for 3 chairs. And how much hours the worker needs to devote per day? 8 hours. Because if you devote 8 hours, you can make 8 into 1, which is 8 tables, or you can make 8 into 3, which is 24 chairs. That means the answer for this question is option D. I'm revising it once again. We were given the initial production possibility curve. We were given the new production possibility curve. Okay, Wx is my initial production possibility curve. It's my original production possibility curve. We were given that when the production possibility curve was Wx, the worker used to work 10 hours a day. 10 hours a day, if you work, you can make either 10 tables or 20 chairs. The rate of exchange, or I can say the slope of the production possibility curve, is change in y over change in x. This is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. You give up 10 tables for 20 chairs. That means it's change in y over change in x, which is 10 over 20, which is half. I have written the slope in absolute terms, ignoring the minus. Okay. Then if the new production possibility curve becomes YZ, we need to find what? The question was asking us to find out workers' hours per day and productivity. Productivity means how many tables and chairs the workers can make in 1 hour. So basically, we need to find out these 3 values. Workers' hours per day, we need to figure that out, and we need to figure out workers' productivity in tables and chairs. We were given 4 options. All we had to do was, given the new production possibility curve YZ, we had to figure out the slope, because the slope of the production possibility curve will tell us the opportunity cost. It will tell us how much of good y needs to be sacrificed to produce one more unit of good x. Now, if you look at the graph, given the new red production possibility curve YZ, I need to sacrifice 8 tables for 24 chairs. That means change in Y is 8, change in X is 24. 8 over 24 gives me 1 by 3. How do I interpret this in simple terms? You give up 1 table for 3 more chairs. If you look at the options, 1 table for 3 chairs. And corresponding to it, how many hours you can devote as a worker per day? 8 hours. Because if you devote 8 hours, how many tables can you make? You make 1 table in an hour. So in 8 hours, you can make 8 tables. And in 3 hours, you can make 12 chairs, 24 chairs, 8 into 3. So this we got by multiplying this 8 with this 1. And this 24 I got by multiplying this 8 with 3, which is 3 chairs per hour. Okay, so my answer for this question is option D. Let's look at the next question quickly. Question number 3. Why is the choice central to the economic problem? This is a very simple question. We have talked about this in our initial topic of the basic economic problem of resource allocation. Economic problem arises. We all know now that economic problem arises because resources are scarce. Resources are scarce and have alternative uses. And human wants are unlimited. You need resources to satisfy human wants. The resources are scarce, but to satisfy your human wants, which are unlimited, you have to make a choice. Okay, so students can subscribe to my complete course where you will find theoretical videos as well, where I have done all the concepts in detail. Okay, why is the choice central to the economic problem? Why? Because if you look at the options, most of the resources have alternative uses. Different governments have different objectives is not the answer. Economic problem doesn't arise because different governments have different objectives. Okay, economic problem also does not arise because firms have access to unlimited resources. No, resources are never unlimited. No country has unlimited resources. Okay, people's wants are also not limited. According to human psychology, wants are unlimited. When one want is satisfied, another want crops up. So the reason the choice has to be made because resources have alternative uses. Land can be used for agricultural purposes. It can also be used for construction. It can also be used to provide a service. Similarly, labor can be employed in different sectors. It has alternative uses. Machinery can be employed either in the agricultural sector in the form of a tractor, or it can be used in the manufacturing sector to make automobiles and so on. That means every factor of production is not only limited, but also has alternative uses, because of which the economic problem arises. That means the answer for this question is option C. Okay, so students, this is where I stop in this particular lecture. It was a very short lecture. The objective was to discuss the first 3 multiple choice questions. In the coming lectures, I will be solving each and every multiple choice question in detail. So students who are preparing for your Cambridge AS or A-level economics course can buy the complete course containing not only the solved past year papers, but also theoretical lectures where every concept is explained in detail using graphs. Okay, so this is where I stop in this lecture. In the next lecture, I'm going to start with the discussion from question number 4. So I hope all students have enjoyed this lecture. Any doubts, you can unmute your mics and ask, or you can get in touch with me for doubts on call or WhatsApp, or you can mail me your doubts at divineschoolofeconomics@gmail.com. This is where I stop in this lecture.